Well, Friday marks the final deadline for the registration of Spaza Shops across the country. Deputy Director General of the Gauteng Department of Economic Development, Mr. Raymond Martin, joins us now to further clarify some of your outstanding inquiries. Mr. Martin, thank you so much for your time. Great to have you with us. So tomorrow, Friday, is just a couple of hours away. How is the process of Spaza Shop registrations, particularly here in GP? Are you confident that all outstanding requirements will be met by after tomorrow?
Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon to your viewers. Yeah, look, 28 February is fast approaching. I don't think we're going to be able to, or consumers or clients are going to be able to meet the entire requirements as they've been set by the department. There are a couple of outstanding issues that we've had to deal with, particularly with foreign nationals, where some of them don't have the right documents. Some are presenting fraudulent documents. But for many of our locals as well, some have complained about the high fees, business licensing fees. So those are just some of the hurdles that we've experienced as we've been dealing with the registration of Spaza Shops and informal businesses across the province.
So, Raymond, are you then able to take us briefly through the compliance process and how your teams will then be ensuring that all necessary checks and balances will be addressed? I mean, there was a huge disparities about how some of the foreign Spaza owners had actually built on municipal land, therefore infringing municipal bylaws. So are you able to confirm to us that after tomorrow, I know you've just said not all the requirements will actually be met by tomorrow, but are you able to say that according to the list that you have, that by tomorrow all operating Spazas will be fully compliant with all your requirements?
Absolutely not. I can never confirm such, ma'am. As I've indicated earlier too, there are many outstanding issues with many of the Spaza Shops. As I've alluded to earlier, you have some of them who've built across the sewer lines, and obviously those have to break down so that we can allow for the municipality to allow them to build anywhere else apart from that. So if they have not been able to do that, obviously means that they're not going to be able to trade. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the small things that we're trying to resolve with many of the shop owners to ensure that some of those contraventions are now rectified, so that starting tomorrow, all of these contraventions would have been dealt with. Remember that this process started a while ago, and we had met with all the shop owners.
Mm-hmm. Raymond, are you still there? Raymond, are you still there?
My apologies, I'm not sure. I got cut.
Yes, you can continue, Raymond.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Yes,
go ahead,
as
sir.
I was saying, my sincere apologies, ma'am. We are not going to be able to resolve all of them, ma'am, as I've alluded to. Mm-hmm. The municipalities are working. We've worked very tirelessly with all of the shop owners. They've been given ample time to come to municipalities and correct some of the provisions that they have been violated. So by tomorrow, if any of them has not met the requirements, unfortunately, they are going to have to be closed down.
I mean, Raymond, how were the registration numbers here in Gauteng? I mean, we understand there was about 1,209 applications that were actually approved in the first initial set of the registration drive. And as we understand, and I think you alluded to it earlier on, most owners had actually opted to forgo this registration process in fear of the tax compliance requirements. And also in terms of Spaza Shop owners, please help us better understand how then taxation of such businesses is actually calculated, and how then do foreign owners also have to comply with this aspect of the regulation?
Look, in every business that a person runs, you have to be a registered owner. So you have to include CPIC mm-hmm. and ensure that your business is registered. The municipality has to take note of the existence of a business. Now, unfortunately, with many of the Spaza Shops, they will be built in households, within business, in residences. So what it means is that going forward now, they'd be expected as well to have registered, so that SARS would be able to calculate. I may not be able to speak for SARS now, unfortunately, ma'am, but SARS would then do a calculation on the basis of the a business. And as you know, most of us as normal residents, you pay your rates and taxes according to your square meters that you have. And so it will be for their businesses, including charging them for the business licenses that they would be expected to pay for. And unfortunately, for many of these foreign nationals, they had not registered for anything in the country, so they'll be trading without even paying any taxes. So that's one aspect as well that we're trying to remedy, so that anybody who is in this country, in this province, running a business would be expected to pay some form of tax.
All right, Raymond, unfortunately, we're out of time, but thank you so much for your input this afternoon. That is Deputy Director General at the Gauteng Department of Economic Development, Mr. Raymond Martin there, as of course. Tomorrow's deadline for Spaza registrations is just hours away. And as you heard from the department, they are saying it's not going to be possible for all the requirements to be met by all those applicants by a deadline tomorrow.